Hey guys, real quickly before we get started on the tank video, just wanted to show you my latest creation that I'm really happy how it turned out. Just printed this Hulk resin 3D model and added some lights to it, so I'll just turn that on and voila. Turned out pretty good. I'm not the greatest painter, but I think it turned out okay. Anyway, sorry about that, I just wanted to share with you, and on to the tank video. Hey everybody, it's Eric here from my 525XL, giving you another weekly tank update. Today is Friday, March 8th, so TGIF, happy Friday to everybody. Couple of things. The first on the 525, apologies on the schmutzy glass, I have a little bit of maintenance to do here. But the new coral that I added last week, which is the, can't remember, so I'll post it right here, is doing well. I can see polyp extensions, looks like some growth on the tip there. Yeah, I haven't changed anything in terms of dosing. I did run out of potassium, so I have to refill that bottle today, I think. But everything else is doing well. Corals are fine, fish are fine. Every time I post a video or record one, this guy's got his sweeper tentacles out. I love to see that. It's so cool. Yeah, everything else is doing pretty good. New corals are still on the rock that I created here. You can see the cherry pop in the back. I'll see if I can get a better view here. It's really getting some growth on the base there and branching out, which is cool. The other ones aren't so much yet, but I find it takes a little while for them to, I don't know, I find within a month they start to show some more growth, I guess. I don't know if they're just getting used to the new parameters or whatever the case is. But this guy seems to show some encrusting on the plug from when I glued it. The other guy's not so much, but that's okay. It's a patience game, right? It's not going to happen overnight. So I know a lot of people want to buy corals and boom, watch them grow huge. Not going to happen. Patience is a virtue in this hobby. That plate is really growing a lot now, so happy about it. That's pretty cool. The pop rock there, you can see not a lot of color to it. There's a lot of gray in that particular coral, but it is still growing and encrusting on the rock. Creamsicle is really encrusting down on that rock too, which is pretty cool. So have birds of paradise growing like crazy. It's just a couple of centimeters, if that, before it touches the green slimer, so I'm gonna have to relocate. But I'll relocate the birds of paradise, not the slimer, because it hasn't encrusted down on the plug, so it'll be a lot easier to move. Other than that, yeah, I just got to do some cleaning on the glass. I did a 5-gallon water change yesterday through the Kimura water changer. Works like a charm. Everything else is pretty cool. Over to the horse stable. I am missing something here, and I am a little, more than a little frustrated, is I cannot find the Banggai Cardinal. He was underneath the rock there last night. I cannot find this thing anywhere. I've searched in the tank with a flashlight, lights on, lights off. I have no friggin' clue where it's gone. It's been exactly a week because I got it last Friday, and I didn't witness him eating much, so I'm wondering if he's gone the way of the ghost and he's floating underneath something. I really hope not. I find a week is sort of the it's really the time where you're going to see if something's going to survive or not. I've experienced that before, and 1 week seems to be the deadline. I can't find him anywhere. I'm going to keep looking, kind of bummed about that. I've been feeding brine shrimp, mysis shrimp, pellet food. I didn't see him come out to eat it all. I was a little concerned, so I thought maybe he was doing it in the evenings. But on another note, the frostbite is doing quite well. Swimming around all day. Seahorses are doing great. Corals in there are doing okay. And I did finally install, I don't know if we're going to see it here. I'll grab the flashlight. Take off the filter. I did finally install the hydrous controller. So I've hooked up the salinity probe and the temperature probe and the pH. Sorry, not salinity, the pH and the temp. And then I've connected all my devices to it. So you can see I've got 2 power bars here for it. Neptune is on the other side, the apex. I'm going to just leave that for now until I have full confidence in the unit, and then I'm going to dismantle and sell it. So the only thing that's running off of my apex unit right now is the temperature probe and the pH probe. So on that note, there's a bit of a difference on the pH readings from these two units, but I know on the pH probes, once you install them, it takes a week or two for it to settle down, so I'm going to wait. The difference is significant. I guess it's, well, I'll show you on a screen recording that I'm going to do. I'm just going to show you quickly the difference between the UI, the user interface from the Neptune, from the Apex controllers to the X3. So take a look right here. So here is the interface for the Hydros controller. I really like it. It's very simplistic, easy to read, big and bold for my old eyes. So the top section has some of the data on the controller board itself, temperatures, voltage, currents, SD. I guess it's got an SD card in it. I didn't really look at that. It says okay. Then you've got your modes, feeding, normal, and water changes, so you can set up if all your devices want to be turned on, or sorry, turned off when you're doing these, which I have set. So feeding goes on for 15 minutes, turns off all the pumps. Down below that, you have your probes, your inputs. So right now I've only got temperature and pH. That's all I'm going to put on this tank. pH, as I mentioned, I just installed. And there is a difference in the readings between the the Apex and the Hydros. But having just installed the Hydros pH probe, they say it takes a couple of weeks to settle in. So I'm going to wait. Down below are your outputs. So this is where I've set up the return pump, the UV pump, and the UV lamps, skimmer, heater. The Reef 90 is the light, the LED light, and the Reef dose. Now the LED light is showing an orange because I have an override on. And I've done that just because I haven't set up the timing for the light. I keep the outlet on all the time because I am running Mobius to control the lights. Reef Beat to control the lights. So it turns them on and off through the Reef Beat app. So I just keep that particular outlet on all the time. And then down below, your Wi-Fi devices are any Wi-Fi devices that you hook up. And in my case, I've set up the power strips, the power bars that I showed you. I've got set up for the return pumps, the UV lamp, UV pump, skimmer. The power strip 5 is actually the USB ports on the power strips that I'm not using. And then in the next power bar, I've set up the heater, the LED light. I got one empty. I don't know why I didn't go in order. And then I've got the reef dosing pump there as well. So really easy to set up, very simplistic. I love the layout. Pretty slick. If you look at the Apex, I mean, it's fine, and it's what I'm used to, but I just find it's not as, I don't know, easy to read. It is easy to read. I just like the interface on the Hydros better, and maybe because it's new, it just seems to be a little less cluttered. There's a lot of activity on this dashboard, and I think you need it. But I think in terms of just general function, going in and doing what you need to do without getting confused, the Hydros app is a lot simpler. That's just my opinion. You can see the pH probe is reading 8.23 here. One on the Hydros is 8.09, but again, I just set that up. So we'll talk a bit more about the pH readings in a second. So those are the two dashboards that you can see in comparison, very different. And again, I think it's just going to boil down to preference, right? I'm starting to prefer the Hydros dashboard more so than the Apex. Having said that, I'm not converting everything over to Hydros. I'm embedded in the 525 with all the devices there, including the Neptune Trident. So I will leave that on the Apex system, but I'm quite happy with Hydros. So that's it on the quick comparison, and we'll get back to the tanks. All right, so back to the tank. The pH readings are, I'm not sure who to believe now. So I used the HANA checker and I saw a pH of 7.7. These guys are reading 8.0, 8.2. Yeah, a little frustrated with that. I don't typically chase the pH, but I would like to see it a little closer than that. If you guys have any thoughts on that, please post below. Would love to hear your thoughts on it. Hannah Checker 7.7, and then these other two probes are over 8. So, I mean, if you think of it, at 0.3, not a huge deal. And as I say, I don't chase the pH. I'm just dosing the all for Eve here, 5 mils a day, and I am due for a water change actually, so I'm going to do that this weekend, probably 5 gallons. And this is a 29-gallon tank, I think. So I'm going to do that. Probably see a jump in pH based on the fresh salt water. But yeah, there is a difference there. I wouldn't say it's leaps and bounds, but as I say, I'm not chasing the numbers. So yeah, that's it on the Seahorse tank. Everything's pretty cool. Happy with the new controller. I really like the interface, like I mentioned. It's pretty clean. And I'm going to run that controller on this tank moving forward. And I'm going to sell off the Apex unit here in the GTA. So yeah, back over to my 525. Happy with everything in here too. Haven't had any issues, knock on wood. Everything seems stable. One thing I did notice though, and I'll post a screenshot here. So you can see my calcium is crawling up. I've had this issue before. I'm going to do a what do you call it, calibration on the Neptune and see what happens. At first I thought I was like way out of whack. My calcium reading was over 600 one time, and I was starting to panic. I'm thinking, oh my god. But I find it just seems to creep up after a little while, and you do need to calibrate. I try to calibrate every time I change out the reagents. I haven't done it in a while though, I'll be honest. So I'm going to do that this weekend, and I'll let you know what the result of that is next week. Other than that, pretty happy. It's Friday. Anyway, if you guys have some thoughts on the pH readings, I would love to hear them. I know, as I say, I'm not chasing it, so I'm not going to panic and go, all over the place trying to get those all to match. I kind of do lean towards the Hannah checkers for a more reasonable reading, just based on my experience in the past. And pH probes, there is a variance. So, as I say, I'm going to let that new probe settle in, and we'll take a look at it again later and see what it looks like. So, down below in the tank, nothing new. Still running all the same equipment. Oh, so here's my automatic feeder that I do for pellet food at noon. I just replaced all the pellets in there. You can see the fish, they already know it's coming. And there you go. Feeding time. So that happens at noon. And then, one thing I don't like about the feeder is it's pretty noisy. Really noisy actually. But so I feed pellets at noon, and then I drop a sheet of nori there in the afternoon when I am at home, and then I do the defrosted brine shrimp in the evening. So anyway, there you go. You get to see a live feeding. Back down below, still running the reef mat. Love it. My max spec protein skimmer. Love it. You can see it's still collecting a lot of junk. The Red Sea ATO. Love it too. Nothing to complain about underneath in the sump at all. So I'm still running 2 heaters down below, as you can see. One is backup just in case, and everything's been really stable. Still have all this white stuff here. Don't know what it is. I'm guessing it might be sponge. It's not harming anything. I'm gonna leave it. I'm not cleaning that sponge out. So I do see a lot of what do you call it, I don't know if they're pods or whatever that live in there. So beneficial anyway. So yeah, that's it. That's all I got for today. Hope you guys are having a fantastic Friday. Wishing you all a great weekend. Questions or comments, leave them down below. Like I say, I always love to hear from you guys. Appreciate the the comments, and even questions. If I can help in any way, I will, as much as I can. So, and again, thanks for watching. Getting all the subscribers too is really cool. It's been really neat to watch this channel grow. So anyway, that's it for me for today. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. Stay safe. Until we talk again, stay safe. Happy reefing.